Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
So grateful that the Lord guided our feet to here. The first time I went to the chamber meeting, I overheard a conversation and someone was saying, well, did you pray about it? Or they gave thanks to the Lord, and it was just a place. I was just tired of being in the secular world, and if it wasn't for my husband, like, picking up all the slack, and then Dr. Shaw with what he's done, I mean, I wouldn't be here. So thank y'all, everybody, for coming and supporting and praying and everything that you've done, and just how the Lord opened up the building that I was in. We're going to be taking care of a lot of people that don't feel well, that they've gone through chemo or had different ailments. And of all the things I was thinking this morning about finding God in the details, and not only did he put me in a beautiful building with beautiful people, but he put handicap right in the front for people to walk in the door. I mean, you know, you gotta say, wow. Yeah. You know, because that right there is such a blessing of who's going to be walking through our door. And I was just like very overwhelmed with that this morning. So just thank God.
Excellent. Hello, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. We're getting ready for Christmas. I know it's barely October, but we'll be installing our Christmas show the end of this month, and it will open November 1st. And it's our busiest 2 months of the year, November and December. Like most retail places, we'll be super busy. We'll have tons of Christmas gifts in here for you. The entire gallery will be a Christmas shop and more Christmas items in our regular ongoing shop. So please do plan on visiting us starting November 1st. We have a full bank of classes all month. This month in October, super busy. Several Saturdays in October, we have 3 or 4 classes every Saturday in October. We have a new venture with Rust and Dust Antiques. They're over on Etten Drive, which is off of Spring Street, kind of across from Taco Bell. If you go visit Lourdes, they're at Rust and Dust on Saturdays from 11 to 3. We have drop-in workshops every Saturday in October. We're hoping to continue that into November. They're drop-in, they're easy. Most of them are for teens and up, or even for children as well and up, all ages. Easy, fun, kind of 45-minute drop-in classes, under $20, $10, $15, $20, most of the classes. So it's kind of a fun introduction to us. Of course, we want you to shop the vintage finds and treasures that you'll see at Rust and Dust, and also just drop in and see what we're doing. We'll be in the back of the store, set up and ready for you. That's every Saturday in October, and like I said, hoping to continue that into November, 11 o'clock to 3 p.m. every Saturday. So come see what we've got going on. You can come in here and see the list of what the classes are, or go online to monroewaltonarts.org and see what we've got going on. That's it. We've got a ton of classes, a ton of gifts. Our Healing Arts program is really going great, and we have our Art Reach class every Tuesday. We have a new preschool class that's taking off. It's every Wednesday. We're always innovating. We're always trying something new. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. But usually y'all are very supportive and receptive to the things that we're trying here. We are your community arts center. We are here for Monroe. We are here for Walton County. to create beauty and moments of joy and just relaxation in your life. So please come see us, see what we have going on, pick up a class list, and view the beautiful regional art show. The last day for the regional art show is October 22nd. So you've got just a few more days to see that beautiful, beautiful show. You don't have to spend any money. Just come in and see the show. Relax, take a deep breath, and beauty is good for your soul. So we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson. I'm here with another Recreation Report. Our basketball season, which is our winter sports program, is underway. We started on November 15th. We're playing games at the Niwell Recreation Center, which we've completely renovated the inside and out with all fresh paint and a new sign up there. So new flooring, and what we're actually doing in that gym during the day to kind of get dual use out of it is we've turned that into an indoor pickleball center. So if you are interested in pickleball, and I know right now the weather's about to turn cold and it could be tough, so if you're interested, go to one of our community centers and you can get a membership. They'll give you a card that you gain access to it, and we'll allow play there up until when our basketball games start at 5:30. So you can play up to about 4:30 or so, and then on weekends we also have availability there as well. So it's a great place to play there, and it also gets you membership at the one at the Ag Center that we have 4 courts there. So we have 5 courts at Niwell, 4 at the Ag Center. It's not as much availability at the Ag Center with all of our shooting sports, the BB team, the air rifle team. So that one's not open usually on the weekends and then the afternoons. So a lot of good indoor pickleball. There's a lot of people that play pickleball in Walton County. So it seems like all of our courts out at Ayers are full every single night, especially with the weather being a little unusually, unseasonably warm right now in November. But we know the colder months and the windy months and the rainy time is coming, so it's a great place to play. But our basketball program also plays at our Meridian Park at West Walton, the park at South Walton, and at Felker. So we have 6 gyms that we play games at every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then some Saturdays. And they're all full. We have about 900 kids that are playing our youth basketball program from ages 5 all the way to age 18, where we have our older boys league. So great time to get in. Most of our fall sports are done. Our NGYFA football program and cheerleading program, we did have one team, our 7-year-old team coached by Dustin Young, made it to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they fell to Clark Central in the championship game, but we did have a team that did represent us in what we call the Super Bowl. We had several teams from Monroe, Walnut Grove, and Loganville that made it into the playoffs, but only the one that made it to the finals. So proud of them as well. I think we had about 4 teams that made it to the semifinals, so they all did real well. All our baseball and softball and soccer. Soccer's just about finished up. We've got a few of our all-star teams that are going up to Dalton this weekend to play in the state championships. All of our teams that we put in all-stars did make it through the district round, which is District 6, which is basically the center of Georgia. We won all of the Class A tournaments, and they're all advancing. So we've got about 6 teams that are advancing to the state championships in soccer. So that'll all wind up this weekend, and we'll just have the basketball going on athletically here in the county. A lot of other programs going on. Again, too many to mention as far as classes that we have in the community centers. We do have our senior aerobics class. We talked about that last time. It's a great place to go and socialize and get some exercise in. You can do it from sitting in a chair or standing up and dancing to the music. Weights, no weights, it's all up to you. We have a really good instructor, Jane Bico and Valerie Ermetz, that teach that. There's a class every single day of the week, and actually 2 on Wednesdays. So if you've got a time or don't mind traveling a little bit, we do them at Meridian Park, at Felker Park, and South Walton. And probably we'll be moving some sort of class at the new Walnut Grove Park, which is slated to open sometime in mid-December is kind of the plan with that. It's just about finished. I know we've been playing in the softball complex since mid-September. but the rest of the facility will open up sometime in mid-December, and we're looking at announcing a grand opening of that. It probably will be in January when we'll do a grand opening, because all the exercise equipment is coming in soon. So a lot going on with the recreation department, and so we hope to see you at a park soon. Until next time, thank you.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And I did want to take a moment to again thank all of our volunteers that came out for our annual Rivers Alive event. We've gotten all the totals from that event, and we ended up collecting close to 1,000 pounds of trash and litter out of our local waterways. We had over 200 volunteers that came out for the event. Again, just wanted to make sure I thanked everyone that participated. We had one group that went and replaced the mineral boxes out at Matthews Park. We had a really great Rivers Alive event, and it was another way for me to bring up, if you're a school group or a civic organization or any scout leaders out there, and you're looking for wonderful volunteer opportunities or ways to earn merit badges if you're a scout, our Rivers Alive event is a great opportunity to do that. Give us a call out here at the center. Let us get contact information for you, and we will most certainly get you on the list for next year's cleanup. So give us a call. Here at the center, we're staying busy. I know I say it all the time on here, but just wanted to go over a couple of things. With our electronics recycling, we keep having to pull TVs out and let people know that those don't belong in the electronics recycling. Just a reminder, TVs can't go in those boxes, and the old style CRT monitors that came with your computers, those can't go in the boxes. Those simply have to be thrown away here. We can't recycle them. So if we see you loading those into the boxes, we will have to tell you that those can't go there. We get charged for those if those do make their way into those boxes. Kind of need to stick with just keyboards, modems, the towers, speakers, printers, the mouse. Even if you've got old copiers, we can take those. It's the TVs and the old CRT monitors that are causing us some issues. So just wanted to give you the heads up on that, so you weren't stopped out in the recycling lane trying to put those off in the electronics. The other one that we're still having a little bit of an issue with, just remember that the mattresses, they can't come in like soaking wet or completely tattered and torn. So if you're swapping out mattresses, try to get those to us pretty quickly before they're worn out or get in any worse shape. We also get charged for those, or the company won't take the load at all if it's full of mattresses in really bad shape. And remember that we do have a 2 mattress limit on the amount of mattresses that can bring in, unless it's a king set. If you have a king size mattress with like the 2 twin box springs, we will take 3. Outside of that example, it is a 2 mattress limit. We only have so much space. We want to give everyone an equal opportunity to drop their mattresses off here. The only other thing I have that we're this kind of that time of year and is happening, we're having a lot of people come in with leaves and on their trailers where they're cleaning up their yards, and we're having to send those people to inert landfills. Just a reminder that is where those items go. We can't take them here. It's just, it won't be accepted at the landfill when we try to drive them there. So we will have to turn you around. We have 2 inert landfills here in the county. We'd be happy to direct you to the nearest one to you. Give us a call out here at the center, 770-267-1421. and be happy to get you there, and answer any questions you have about that. And like I do every single week, come out here to the center. Let us walk you through, show you what we do in here, get you started recycling, find new things to recycle, tell you about the volunteer opportunities we have here, answer any environmental questions you have. Give us a call, reach out, come and see us, and until next time, take care.
Good morning. I'm Tisha McCrae with the Walton Youth Project and the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth, and the Mayor's Impact Team. We are so happy this morning to be here at City Hall with Mayor John Howard. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, Tish, for coming.
So for the last going on 3 years, I've been so honored to serve on the Mayor's Impact Team, a group of people from Monroe who are interested in all kinds of initiatives, which we'll let Mayor Howard tell you about. But recently, we decided to start a podcast, and we are actually recording the audio for that this morning. And so we'd love for Mayor Howard for you to tell us some of the inspiration for the Impact Team and the podcast.
That'd be great. Let's talk about Impact Team first, and then we'll go with podcast. I've been mayor now for it will be 8 years in just a couple of months, and time has flown. Over the course of that time, I have taken economic development classes, leadership classes, all the things that you take with the state, right? In the economic development class, which was, let's say, year number 2, we started studying the literacy rate and the impact of a low literacy rate. And it is third grade is where you really need to be on level. But the impacts of a low literacy rate, again, the precursor is third grade. If you have kids in your school system that are not reading on grade level by the end of third grade, you have a high chance of poverty, a high chance of drug use, a high chance of teen pregnancy, domestic abuse, low property values, high taxes, single parent homes. And it's without fail. It is third grade reading level is the direct precursor to lifetime success. And the state of Georgia is it's not good. The state of Georgia is 38%. Walton County right now is better than that, but not a lot better, and it's something to be concerned about. So my thought was to get the players in the room and see what we can do to help curb our low rate. It coincided. We have issues. We have issues, right? I think society has issues, but in City of Monroe, we are upcoming. We have a great downtown. We have some great housing, great neighborhoods. Some of the nicest neighborhoods I've ever been in. You just walk out the back door to Walton Street. It was new urbanism before new urbanism became a thing. But we also have pockets of poverty, and that's generational poverty. So the thought was we could impact our area through 3 main tenets or 3 main ways. One is literacy development. That's the youngest part. 2 is teen and youth development, which is where you're a rock star. And then 3 is workforce development. So I decided to grab these folks in a room and say, what can we do? So I have Tish is on board, Stacy Brown with the library, Dessa Morris and Jamie Cash with workforce development, Dina Huff with the Partnership for Families and Children. I have 2 council members, Julie Sams and Adrian Brown, who are also on board. We have partnered with Dane Callahan and Monroe Elementary to really get started, and now we brought in Beth Morgan from Sharon Elementary in Loganville. I knew it was Loganville. Anyway, So we have that going, and we started our meetings. And who else am I missing?
Mitch Alligood, who's
Oh,
the
Mitch
after-school
Alligood's been the
program-
rock star
Yeah, the
at-
program
at-
coordinator after school.
at Monroe Elementary now. And, not only is he the rock star at Monroe Elementary, he's just a great guy. I mean, the kids at Walnut Grove he taught for, 25 years before he retired and started working with the younger kids. And we do, we'll have a Mark Hamas come in once in a while, or a Hope Reese, or somebody that is active with our arts programs, because that's very important to a successful, thriving town. And I have some teachers who are offering to volunteer, help kids read. I have the Episcopal Church and 1025 Church, who both have reading or literacy programs. The Episcopal Church actually works with the Young Learners School,
Right.
and brings those kids in. I think they're coming in twice a week, just for literacy development. And for those who are pretty good at it, this is just enrichment. So anything that we can do to impact the long-term success of Monroe, we want to do. We want to have, we had a Young Game Changers group that came in and studied Monroe significantly 6 years ago. And they were asked certain questions. There were 45 of them, and they were under the age of 40. Asked certain questions of how do we make Monroe probably lack of a better description, a cradle to the grave community. We want people who are born here to go to school here, to be educated, to thrive, and to be able to retire here until their last breaths. That's very important to us. And we can't do it if we don't have a competitive school system. What has happened, especially in the black community, is that people who thrive academically and excel and move along don't come back. The white community has a little bit more returning, and I have no reasons why, but either way, we want them to all succeed, and I want them to come back. Charlie Jackson played football at Monroe area, and he's a great guy. Played college ball, and I wrote him a letter when he graduated and just said, we want you to go learn how to make the world a better place, but I gotta have you back here. And his teacher called and said, I bet that's the first time a mayor has ever sent something to a black kid that said, we want you here. But we do, because it takes men, women, black, white, gay, straight. It's going to take us all to take Monroe from where we are now, which is good.
Right. But we need those Patrice Broughtons and those Blondine Ivies.
Absolutely. Blondine Ivy, I totally missed her.
Yeah.
She's on the Impact team too, and she's the most feisty one.
And Patrice, who's our communications director for Walton County Schools, is
Well, I
also
mean,
on your Impact team.
So just great,
Yeah.
great folks, and with big hearts. And when I put a picture of our team online several months ago, and had somebody reach out and say, look, we already have systems in place to help these kids, and we do. And I'm not going to say they're failing. I'm going to say that the concern from this person or these people was that we were taking financial resources out of the overall system. You have folks who donate to Boys and Girls Club and Team Up Mentoring and all this stuff. And I said, well, the good news is none of us takes a dime.
We're all volunteers.
We want to
Right.
help, and if helping is staying out of the way, and all of a sudden everybody reads and does well, and academically, financially, and the schools thrive, well, we won't even have to meet. But the fact is, right now, Walton County is at 42% reading on grade level. Some schools are well below that average. Some have really done well. Walker Park is just killing it. Alicia Burford and her team, they've done very well. But what you find out is it's not all teachers. You can't deliver a child to school and expect that child to learn if there's a hectic home life. There are no resources. There's no parent to read to the child at night. There's no food in the house. All the things that historically were just part of growing up. These kids don't have. We had
guaranteed anymore.
We had 67% of the kids in Walton County Public Schools last year missed more than 10 days. To me, that is unheard of, or had been unheard of until I saw the notes.
It's very close to the exact same number that are eligible for free and reduced lunch, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have 67% of the kids that need free and reduced lunch,
yeah,
those kids should be in school.
That's
right.
Yes, that's the interesting point.
And I think COVID made us all change. Right. The way, unfortunately, the way we interact with each other, the way we accept billing at City Hall. I mean, we all changed our lives, and some for the better, but some the anxious generation. These kids, our lives are defined by generational events, and my daughters were born. ZK was born in a world where terror had never hit the shores of the United States. That impacted her life, right? I mean, of course, she was ZK was in '99, Anna was in '01, and September 11th happened shortly after she was born. So they've never grown up in a world without terror. So they don't have the same memory that I have of winning yes, I'm going to brag on myself here, 1976, I'm bragging on my age, 1976 on the historic courthouse lawn, little curly-headed John Howard won a watermelon seed spitting contest for our bicentennial.
No, you're kind of bringing that back. Like, our reading event at Monroe Elementary felt very much like that. I think you wrapped your arms around those kids and gave them a little bit of that environment that.
And I want them to know they're loved.
Right.
Right. And I want them to know they're safe. And I can't tell you that everything's always going to be perfect at every single one of our events. Right. And I hope it's not really a false sense of security. But when we have, I noticed it more when we were at the courthouse, the historic courthouse, because we'd have the street blocked from Highland all the way to Wayne. Sorry, not Wayne, Washington. Parents are sitting at the courthouse, and their kids are just being kids, running up and down the street. There's no cars coming. And it was Americana. Look at our Christmas parade. It's Americana, our car show. I mean, I never had any interest or even any idea that a car show would be successful.
Fall Festival coming up on the 11th.
Fall Festival is next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We had our talent show at the Town Green. When I was a kid, and as a matter of fact, from 1970, when I was born, all the way up until 2020, any kid remembers that property at the corner of Madison and Church as a dilapidated storage yard, and the old tin building and dilapidated homes along Madison. I mean, that's what we remembered. And then we made the investment in the Town Green and ended up, it was a $4.5 million project. But day one of being mayor, we didn't have this, and turns out that I have a great city administrator who sees some things very much the same way I do, except he's really, really smart. So we got the town green and sold the building, which is now co-work at the Metro, Southern Ox, which is really cool if you haven't been to Southern Ox. Those are Americana kind of events. Axe throwing, cornhole, you can drink beer, you can drink Cokes, watch football, whatever. And then Doug Root has the reclaimed wood business.
Love that place. If you haven't been in there, yeah. it's a
We
great
also
place to
have,
go.
is it Impact Fitness?
Mhm.
That's right there. Amici. It's all of a sudden that whole area is being used, and we won the state Placemaker Space of the Year last year. And the decisions that we're making aren't because, hey, we want to win these awards. It's because we want kids to love Monroe like we did when we grew up, right?
And if you see them in the fountain, you know.
Oh, they
They are
love this,
loving Monroe,
and I hear the laughing.
Yes.
Hopefully, it's Friday afternoon after school, not when they're skipping class.
But summertime for sure.
And it's been great. But you know what happens when a kid loves an area? Look at these pictures. When a kid loves an area, they want to come back. And that's the goal, right? We just signed a $38.5 million contract yesterday to bring in MGM, which is not Metro Golden Meyer. It is an air conditioning, housing, for lack of a better term, business. They will do. They do these huge air conditioning systems jobs, like at the Mercedes-Benz and in the world, Atlanta.
Oh, they did it at the Trade Center, the Apparel Mart.
Yeah, the Apparel Mart.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying the world. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they do these huge events, and it's a great company. They have over 100 employees that are investing. They understand the vision of Monroe. They understand where we are right now, and our area is. These businesses are going to require quality employees. And that's why the impact team exists, is to make an impact on these kids. And it's really interesting. We go in and read, because I love to read with the kids, and they always ask. I mean, I probably get asked this question twice a year when I go and talk to kids. Somebody will ask me what the favorite part of the job is as mayor, and I will tell them, and I 100% will tell you, dealing with kids is going to be my favorite thing. And I guess it's because I'm cool. I'm cool to little kids.
Seeing them swarm you like they did a couple of Tuesdays ago when we were out, or Thursdays ago when we were out there. Yeah, when you took a knee and all 100 of them.
Oh, that was a ball.
Were clamoring to get next to you.
But the funny thing is, all of a sudden you get high school age, and I'm just not cool anymore.
No, none of us.
I wish.
Yeah, they're not even cool to each other sometimes in high school.
By the way, we are doing the podcast, but we're being videoed as well. And this mug is from Alpha Insurance, Mike Sorrells. So if you need some insurance, call Mike.
Very nice advertisement.
And now I have to call him and go, dude, you got to listen to my podcast. So we'll have at least one listener.
There you go.
What else should we be talking about with the Impact Team?
Well, we have recently started the Monroe Teen Council, which was kind of an offshoot off
and the Alley Garden.
And the Alley Garden.
Talk about the Youth Council.
Right.
For a minute.
So we have two teen organizations, sort of to provide some of the services that Mayor Howard was talking about earlier, which is grassroots initiatives that teens can get involved in, so that then even if they do go away to college, they'll want to come back because they're invested in Monroe. And we've done that a lot with the mayor's help. And so we do have both the Walton Youth Project, which is countywide, and then we have the Monroe Teen Council, which is just within the city of Monroe. And that's actually the group of teens that's going to go out this Saturday, and we're going to decorate our alley garden. The city has been kind enough to for about a year now, give us a little bit of property to do what we wish with there at Wayne Street and Spring Street. There's an alley there that the city paved beautifully, but they're allowing us to decorate with decorations and flowers and plantings and so on. We've had local organizations who've sponsored a month. Walton County School District, their AWARE program, sponsored a month. The Bridge of Georgia School did a month. And now this month, the Youth Project is going to be promoting one of their events and decorating for Halloween.
Well,
So it'll look nice there.
and to interrupt for just a second, I do want the listeners and the viewers to understand everything we do that can bring in other groups of people from within our own community just makes us that much stronger. So sponsoring the Alley Garden have been, say that again, the Bridge of Georgia,
Yep.
Rita Dickinson's great school.
That's Tammy Burt's school, the Bridge of Georgia. Monroe
Oh,
Country
the
Day
bridge.
School.
Sorry, I've
Yeah,
got
Monroe Country Day School.
Country
Yeah,
Day.
Dr. Dickinson's great school. Yeah.
So okay, let's try that again. The Bridge. Sorry, Tammy. And I'm having breakfast at the Bridge on Friday. They have the Tiger
Yes.
Cafe. So if anybody wants to go, those kids are great. They make the sausage biscuits and sell the coffee and make the change and all that stuff required for
Yeah.
real, life interactions.
Right.
In a safe, healthy, conducive environment that is good for those kids. I mean, the special needs. We have a large special needs community, and I'm saying that like we're any different than anywhere else in the United States.
Sure.
We have special needs programs that have absolutely have a need, and that school is growing, and Tammy's done great over there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you said, so Tammy did it
Yes,
Has-
they did it for Autism Awareness Month.
for the Bridge of Georgia.
Yeah,
Rita is Monroe Country Day School.
correct.
You do stuff with her too,
We
but
do.
has she sponsored one yet?
They have not yet. No.
Okay.
We'll get them on the calendar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And now that we've given her a little love, we need put her on there.
That's
and who
right.
else did we have?
The Project Aware grant for the school district.
Okay.
That's headed up by Eric Rubio from Student Services, and they did a beautiful presentation for Mental Health Month.
Okay.
So it can be a topic like that, or it could just be an advertiser who wants to get their name out there. Really anything. Like I said, we're taking it for the month of October, partially because we wanted to have it pretty for the Fall
Right.
Festival, and we also wanted to promote our event, our Fright Mike event that's coming up October 24th.
Well, saying this directly to you, Paul, and our listeners and viewers, the world needs more Tish McCray.
Thank you.
That we have people who will literally go out of their way, get out of their comfort zone to make the world better for our kids. And of course we have great teachers at our schools, and we have great administrators at the school board, and they are all paid to do their jobs. Tish does this in addition to her job.
Thank you.
And super mom, cute kids, and just we're lucky to have her. And that's bragging on you. But now I'm going to brag.
also tech on this podcast, so give me a minute while I set make sure our mics aren't peaking.
Okay.
Sorry.
And next I want to talk about Dessa and Jamie Cash. So we've talked literacy development, we've talked youth development, and then workforce development. And Jamie and Dessa are in charge of workforce at the Development Authority. They have the agreements with all of the community, I'm going to say businesses, but industrial base. So everybody from our newest, Rivian and MGM, to our oldest, whether that's Tucker Door or Hitachi Estimo, they work with Newton County as well to put on regional job fairs. But we do stuff like Be Pro, Be Proud, which is the large bus that comes in that is a technical bus that shows job availability, job training, has some fun games that makes you think, like laying a weld and hand-eye coordination things. that will allow you to determine what might be your best path if you don't want to go to the 4-year college. We have 90% of the kids who graduate in Walton County do not graduate from a 4-year school. That doesn't mean that they don't go to school, and those numbers are fairly low. But once they do go, they'll graduate. So I'm on the Athens Tech Foundation board, and we just gave out, I think, $62,000 in scholarships last week. It's affordable way of doing it, but we're working with a technical college. We have a new welding program. We have a new nursing program here in Monroe at our Athens Tech campus, which is the old Monroe area. They're doing a $16.2 million renovation of that building that should start. I thought it was going to start by now, but let's just say it's first or second quarter of 2026. Jamie Dessa will go high schools to help them understand the options available to them. We do middle school as well to help guide them along that path. And then we do things with our elementary schools too, like Lego building programs. And what you find out, school is not top down anymore. Not the way that we had it when we were kids. It was the teacher stands in the front of the room, she talks to a class of 20, 22, 18, 25, whatever. Tells you the information that you're supposed to learn, then you regurgitate it. You read a book, you write a paper, you take a test, you go home. That's the way it works. With so much more environmental challenges that we've seen spikes in ADHD, we've seen spikes in kids who maybe have a learning or processing issue, anxiety. That we find out that some may not be going the college route or the military, or we want to make sure they thrive. So Julie Howard, my wife, and Dessa put together a camp convention at George Walton Academy probably 15 years ago. And it was an existing program, and I don't know how those two ended up doing it. But what you found out was through Facebook, which is has a ton of good and some not so good, and we'll get into social media ills right now. But what you find out is the kids that really thrive in camp convention, they go in and they take toilet paper rolls and tin cans and just paper clips, things like MacGyver, right? Mm-hmm. And they would make things, and then they would compete, and it was high energy, and there is no you sit at your desk and I'm going to tell you and you're going to tell me back. That's not the way it works. Well, the kids really thrive in that environment, and the parents saying, little Billy, little Johnny, little Susie, love this. Why can't school be more like this? Well, guess what? The kids that really thrived in the camp convention type atmosphere, kind of the troublemakers. They can't sit still. So the good news on you and Jamie and Dessa and the camp convention inventors really is that we are able to educate kids in a different way. And Jamie and Dessa see that. They we want what's best for the kids. Of course we want them all to read, and we want them to do well. We want them to know history and music and arts and literature and engineering, the STEM and STEAM, all the stuff we want them to know. But the number one, first they have to know we love them, but second, they need to know there is a future and an alternative way to get there. If we can put kids in an environment to learn and to thrive, and then show them a path. We have the Pathways program for industrial, mechanical, It's all through the development authority, and I don't know all the various names, but the whole job is about to build a better future for Monroe. And I can go long-winded and around in circles on how we're doing it, but I think it behooves every single one of us to make efforts to make put our kids in a position that their families can change. We can change a trajectory of an entire family just by teaching a kid to read, right? We of course need to be open and available and helpful, but we want them to change the trajectory of the circumstances in which they arose. So not only is it not good for the people who are giving up on, it's not good for us. We've got a big jail over here. I don't want it filled with people from Monroe.
Right. Well, you had one of those kids who lives on that street, who I won't name because she is a minor, but right there at the Development Authority in your mayor's teen council meeting.
And she was fantastic.
Talking about literacy. Yeah.
Not to give it away, maybe he was fantastic. Sorry.
They were fantastic. Right, and you had a kid from Monroe who ran that STEM camp this summer over at the Annex, took kids to Georgia Tech, took kids to UGA on field trips, and that's one of our own. So I think your efforts are definitely making an impact, because those were the kids that were making those plans at Development Authority just a couple months before.
It's interesting, when I was a kid, and listen, I'm from Monroe. I know the way it works. University of Georgia was right there. Everybody's a Bulldog. Mm-hmm. Except me. It was painful growing up. And then there's Tech. And I always heard, Tech was belittled about as much as the University of Florida, but...
Well, because of football.
Of course.
Who's 5-0 right now?
Listen, I know. Probably University of Florida's next head coach, Brent Key.
Don't steal Key.
But anyway, I didn't know that how academically superior they are.
Or at least holding their own for our Bulldogs out there.
Well, they're the number 5 public institution in the country.
We went down there this summer. There were kids who had never been to Atlanta before we were in their Candida building, which is a bio-inspired design place. And there were kids who had never seen a lab like that, never seen a skyscraper. So it was an amazing opportunity. We did go to UGA as well, though, as you know, and toured 5 labs there. But yeah.
The reason I was late getting here, Paul, I'm sorry. I was having breakfast with a group that I have breakfast with every morning, and there's a new young lady who graduated with an engineering degree from the University of by God, Georgia, as Louis Grizzard used to say.
Yes, yes.
So Georgia has a great engineering program as well, but put these kids in position to change their lives.
Mm-hmm. And that's where Brody's going from Monroe. He's going to Tech.
It's just amazing. And that's part of the joy of being on the Athens Technical College Foundation is our job is to raise money for the college to in turn give to kids who need it. Mm-hmm. And I think the vast majority of kids can find something at Athens Technical College that really will put them in a position to succeed in one of our businesses.
I agree.
I said a couple of weeks ago that every decision that our council makes is an economic development decision. And I don't mean that in that, we're going to bring in businesses because we want to increase our tax base. That's not it. The whole philosophy behind an economic development attractive community is that, we want to have jobs for our people to do, but not only that, we want our people to stay here.
Yes.
And build those companies to be successful. And you know what happens when you build a company to be successful and they pay you well? You can move into a nicer house, a nicer neighborhood. Everything takes you from starting to read until the time you are a senior citizen visiting the library. My dad's 82 years old. He's in that library 3 times a week and a voracious reader. We want you. We want to see you succeed, happy, thriving, and I know I tend to use the same synonyms a lot, but thrive is the best way I can describe a successful outcome for us.
And it does bring it full circle,
Right.
that we can all thrive. From
Right.
the kids that you read to a month ago to your dad at the library, like that really does bring it all the way around back to your original point.
I'm going to mention a friend of mine. I graduated from George Walton in 1988. My friend Connie Knox graduated from Monroe area in 1988. She works for Facebook. I think she's taken a new position in California. Her grandmother passed away, and I was at the funeral home yesterday. But you talk about great families who have a belief in education, and that's what happened. Connie was successful, graduated college, got hired, and moved to California to work for Facebook. Well, guess what? We now have Facebook here.
Right? Is she coming back?
At Stanton Springs. No, she's moved to a different company. But the fact is, she had to go. Right? Because we didn't have these things.
We need her as a podcast guest.
Who we really need as a podcast guest, and Connie, I love you, but who we really need as a podcast guest is Eva Jernigan. Do you know Eva?
I do not.
Okay. Her grandmother, Dorcas Jernigan, was in that first group of kids that left Carver High School to start at Monroe area. I think we had six black kids. There might have been more. But I call her the first female black graduate at Monroe area.
So is that our first official podcast guest, apart from this teaser episode?
Well, let me tell you about Eva first, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get her on our schedule. It's going to have to be on hers. She was the Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year for Walton County. Then she was the Regional Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. And she just competed at nationals last week and finished top 5 in the nation. Okay, her father Brian, her uncle Craig. Craig and I played basketball together when we were little. Brian was a stud athlete at Monroe area. Sorry, Brian, I'm calling you a stud. He works with a bunch of our kids now. He coaches football, and they lost their first game last year. And they're playing that team they lost to again this coming year. Anyway, Brian's great, and he has this beautiful daughter named Eva, who all the good qualities, and she is beautiful, and she is smart. She is on a full ride scholarship to Spelman to be a maxillofacial surgeon.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
So now we have a quiz. How do you spell maxillofacial?
Fancy dentist.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry to put you on the spot. But
yeah, right.
But that's the kind of kid that shows you what education can do, and not only does that show you what education can do, it shows you generationally how that will change. So you take Dorcas, and you take Brian, and you take Brian's daughter, and at some point we hope Eva will be able to have children and build her own family. And I can promise you education is important in that house. Mm-hmm. So it really is incumbent on all of us, because we do know that we have some parents who are sperm donors and never interact with children. We have some that battle their own demons and never interact with their children. And those, the kids need us. And that's the reason we are lucky to have the members of our impact team, but it's also lucky that we have a Lynn Hill at the Boys and Girls Club, that we have a Dina Huff at the Partnership, that we have Cindy Little at Fish. Just quality folks who are all about making Monroe better.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate your time, and thank you for coming in. Are there any questions?
I'm really looking forward to what's going to come next.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Candlelight shopping, the Christmas parade, all of the things that we are known for.
Right. I know you're going to be at Harmony on October 30th for another celebrity reading day.
And I do. You know, we're very lucky that Harmony has great leadership with Jamie Antoine. I mean, just a fantastic guy. Dane Callahan at Monroe Elementary, he's really, that school is just turning the corner and doing so well. Alicia Burford at Walker Park is fantastic. Beth Morgan at Sharon. If there's anybody that I could have put my girls with to feel comfortable that they would be safe and loved and educated, it would be hard to steer anybody away from Beth Morgan. I mean,
these
she's
principals
wonderful.
are doing a great job.
And you know, and that carries on into the staff and into the faculty, because you see changes. Eddie Hood at Monroe area is in his second year. Michael Youngblood is in his second year at Carver Middle, and Carver Middle is light years ahead of where they were just 10 years ago. Kids are growing up in a good time in Monroe.
Yeah, so that's what's coming next.
Right.
Yeah.
Kids
are coming up at a good time.
The kids, you know, what's next? Well, the kids are next.
That's right.
And back to the young lady that I was having breakfast with, there were probably 20 of us, and I know I talked a whole lot, and she was sitting right next to me, the engineer who graduated from Georgia. I asked her if she knew who the Oak Ridge Boys were. Now, I'm not even a country fan, but, you know, they were like, I guess, world best when I was, you know, in the 70s or maybe 80s. And this girl's probably 23 or 4. She'd never heard of them. But she also didn't remember what the building, you know, Silver Queen, I'm looking in the direction of Silver Queen. She didn't remember that it hadn't been there forever.
Right.
That just 6 years ago, we tore down Barry's Speed Shop Automotive, and Andrew Williams built the Silver Queen building, which is now home to Les Gabriels. Almost every single building in our downtown corridor has had a facelift. L.R. Burger used to be Mr. Garrett's gas station. So we have a revolving loan fund that will work with companies to help restructure their businesses. We've moved the PD out of the downtown area and opened that up, so that's
another good podcast visit, I would think.
Right, we'll do that. Joe Grizzle's getting ready to open the Grizzle Beer brewery and meeting space. That's really cool. We have the PD is now at Blaine Station, which is right at the corner of Blaine Street and Spring. We are getting ready to redevelop that whole site. We'll do that in 4 phases. The first phase takedown starts in just a couple of months. So you'll probably see some general construction starting there within the next year.
That sounds great, though. For us as your podcast listeners, that's 5 or 6 hours of content right there.
Well, it is.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.